Hi, guys and gals. No, just gals, right? So it is Wednesday. It is our Facebook Live day where we set a topic and we discuss. You guys ask questions. I give some information, but I also love to see that you're here. So I want you to put in the comments that you're here, say hi to me, all of that good stuff. So today, this afternoon, we're going to talk about setting specific goals for yourself and then what can you do to stay focused on those goals in meeting those goals, right? So we're going to dive right in. Again, I want you to tell me that you're here with me live on Facebook in Mind, Body, Beautiful. And I'm going to start with just some information about setting specific goals. Hey, Kelly, nice to see you. Glad you're here. Awesome. So I'm going to be also asking questions as I go through the process here this afternoon. So setting specific goals for yourself and then focused on meeting them. How do you stay focused? So when you're thinking about a year from now, or even 6 months from now, or sometimes 10, maybe 15 years from now, and that's in the future, right? Even though, 3 months or 6 months is not long in the future, it's still in the future. Hey, Dorothy, nice to see you. Hi, Jody. Always good to see you guys. And so, what you hope for in the next 6 months, even 3 months, or a year, or 5, 10, 15 years, is that it's going to be different, significantly different than today. So when you're setting those goals, you want to think about that. You want to be or set goals, depending on if it's a goal related to income, whether it's maybe a relationship goal, or what we're going to specifically talk about here is health and fitness. But this can relate to any kind of goals in your life. But you want to be significantly different than you are today, especially when it comes to health and fitness. And what does that look like? So we all have visions for the future, right? So whatever yours may be, helping you to set those effective goals is going to help you get there by keeping you motivated, helping you feel confident in getting to that point, but also making sure that you stay focused on that end game. So really, really important. So you might be thinking, oh yeah, you know what? I've set goals in the past before and I never met them. Don't like setting goals. I guess get frustrated. I get discouraged. All that kind of stuff because I've been there too. And what happens is most likely those goals were more on the vague side. They weren't specific enough. They weren't maybe short-term type goals to get to that long-term end goal. Maybe they were too lofty, like oh my, like too overwhelming that you weren't in any shape or form able to meet that. And then they weren't planned out very well, and so that's why you didn't meet the goal and you got really discouraged. And they do lead to failure because you didn't put those bits and pieces together to set what we're going to talk about, SMART goals, and how do you do that and how can you be successful in that. So we're going to talk a little bit about again, how to set those goals, what are SMART goals, which is the way I've done it, and then how to stay focused on those. So the key to be successful in any area of your life, and like I said, we're going to specifically talk about your health and fitness journey, but also can be in any type of goal you might be setting. It might be along that, not just health and fitness, but your income and future goals with your family, where you want to go, maybe where you want to live, and all those kinds of stuff. But be intentional about goal setting. And so what we're going to talk about is something called SMART goals. And so the SMART stand for, there's an acronym for, a little bug in here today. So if I keep doing this, it's just because this little bug keeps flying by me. But anyway, so SMART goal. So if you want to take some notes, this would be the good time to do that. So what does a SMART goal mean? So the S means specific. So we're going to set specific goals. They have to be specific. They have to be measurable. That's the M. How are you going to measure that goal? And this is a big one. The A is attainable. They have to be not lofty, way out there 15 years from now. You have to bite those off in little chunks. The R stands for relevant. It has to be pertaining to your life right now, where you want to go, not something that you don't believe in. So it's kind of like following those core values that you have for yourself. And then time. There has to be a time that you have set to reach that goal. So time bound. So SMART goals. So each element of that framework plays a part in making that specific SMART goal a clear path for you. And you'll be able to track your progress. And it actually is a really good foundation. I found this very helpful for me. It also helps me realize and put into perspective the vision that I have for myself. And so we're going to break down each letter of the SMART goal. So S stands for specific. So if you can't get this all down in your notes, don't fret. I'm going to put this in the comments below when I'm done with this evening. So specific. We want specific, and they're going to answer 6 questions. They're W questions. So under specific, who, what, where, when, which, why. So there's questions under specific, the S in SMART goal: who, what, where, when, why. So it's going to define your goal, and you won't have any like fluctuation. What does that mean? So first W is who is involved. Most likely it's going to be you, but it might be your family, right? So are they supportive of your exercise, your fitness goal, that kind of thing? What do you want to accomplish? What is it that you want to accomplish? Do you want to lose 10 pounds? Do you want to lose 20 pounds? Do you want to lose body fat percentage? Do you want to drop inches? The where, the next W is where will you work towards your goal? Will you work at home, work out at home? Most likely you're going to meal prep at home and things like that. Are you going to work out at the gym? Where? When do you want to reach it? You know, what's that time frame? What requirements and constraints might get in your way? So is it going to be time getting in your way? Is it going to be family, husband, kids, grandkids that might get in the way? And be really honest with yourself. It's okay. And then why are you doing it? Why do you want to do this? Right? So who, what, where, when, which, and why. Again, I'll post this in the comments after the video is posted, or the live is posted. So the more specific your goal is, the more you'll be able to identify the steps clearly, okay? So the next in SMART goal, so we just talked about the S, be specific. The next one is measurable. How will you know you're making progress towards your goal if you don't have like a precise time, a precise amount, a precise pound, a precise percent? Because we want to know how far you've come and how far you have left to go, right? So it's taking those, you might have this really kind of a larger goal of 25 pounds, but let's take it in 5 pounds, and then the next 5 pounds. Or maybe it's percentage of body fat, like you want to drop 3% body fat. Well, let's do one first by a certain time. Once you hit that goal, etc. So you want them to be measurable. It's going to help you keep track of your pace along the way, and then you can reevaluate and shift direction as needed. So the next letter is A, attainable. So attainable goals need to be challenging. You can't say, I'm going to lose a half a pound this week. I want it to be challenging. I'm going to lose 1 pound this week, right? But you have to be realistic as well. So when you're setting that attainable goal, you also have to keep in mind any obstacles that you may have along the way. Because even if you fail, you still make significant progress in some area of your life, right? So just be aware of what those obstacles might be, and then you just have to pivot to get back on that where you want to go with your goal, okay? Does that make sense? Hopefully. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you would like to share one of your goals in the comments, that would be awesome. We can share with the group. You all have goals. They may be different, which is perfectly acceptable, right? Everybody's a different person, different woman, and your goals might be not aligned with somebody else's, and that's okay. They're your goals. So relevant. So a SMART goal, the R in SMART is relevant. They have to fall, like I said before, they have to fall in line with what you believe in and your ultimate vision of yourself. It's like, why is your goal important to you? And some of you may, those of you who are working with me in a program, and I've asked you, what is your big why, right? Why is the goal important to you? And how does, when you achieve it or achieving it, make progress towards those broader objectives of where you want to go, right? So maybe you want to run a marathon someday, but you need to get this extra weight off and you need to focus on some endurance training, building some muscle, etc. So think about why your goal is important. It needs to be relevant, not something that somebody else wants you to do. It has to be your goal, right? Like Dorothy said, it's the long-term maintenance that can get out of control easily. Very, very true. And so that's why it's always really good to chunk down those goals, and just remember up here, what is your why? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this hard work? And what is that end game for you? And it's not necessarily the absolute end, but it's at the end of that goal, and then it's the end of another goal. Like, I've had goals my whole life. Sometimes they don't work out for me and I have to resituate myself and reset that goal. But that's very, very true what you said. Time bound. Deadlines, they're going to help you stay prioritized, keep you motivated. You have to motivate yourself. The goal for short-term goals needs to be like days away or a week away. It has to be realistic, and it has to be reasonable. And in order to get to that, you have to develop those appropriate habits. So that's why when we talk about developing long-lasting lifestyle habits, then you can always go back to those long-lasting lifestyle habits, because you have those embedded in yourself. So having deadline is because it's motivating, right? And sometimes it puts pressure on you, and that's okay. That's a good pressure it puts on you because you want to achieve that goal. So let's talk a little bit about, now that you know what SMART means, SMART goals. And again, I'll put some of this stuff in the comments. Hi, Julie. Nice to see you. Awesome. Share one of your goals with us, you guys. I'd love to hear what one of your goals is for yourself in the health and fitness realm. I know there's, like we've been talking about, other goals in your life that I'm sure you want to set for yourself. But we're talking specifically health and fitness, lifestyle, that kind of thing. So we just talked about SMART goals. I'll put the SMART goal, what the S stands for, et cetera, in the comments as well. So you want to set those SMART goals, right? And they can be set for all areas of your life. So it's important because when you set those goals, you're going to stay committed, you're going to stay accountable, because if you don't, it's going to be a slippery slope, and you can quickly become like not engaged, not motivated. So it's really important that you be specific, because when you're creating a healthy lifestyle, your goals are going to be things like eating a clean diet, losing weight, or becoming more physically active. Yes, Pam, one of your goals is to great job at that as well. So that is, and what we do is we set, okay, what percentage is that going to be? What is the length of time? How are you going to do that? So it is those SMART goals that we're using for that. So here are some examples of some SMART health and fitness goals that you can set for yourself. So I'm going to give you some examples. One could be eat more fruits and vegetables. So you will say, when you set up your SMART goal, I will eat a minimum of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily by September 31st, by meal prepping and mapping out my meals every week, going shopping once a week, and eating 1 to 2 servings per meal. So you're breaking that up. I just throw out a date, September 31st. I mean, you've got 2 weeks, right? But that's a really short-term goal. If you can do that and keep doing that, that's a really good lifestyle habit that you'll get into. So that's just one example. How about number 2 here? Get regular exercise. Here is one way to think about that. I will work out a minimum of 30 to 45 minutes per day, 3 days per week by December 31st. Perfect, right? That's a really good goal. A lot of you are doing something like that, getting that regular exercise. It might be more than 3 days per week, but it is your goal. That's another example of a SMART goal. How about this? This is a healthy habit. So we talk a lot about drinking water, right? So by November 30th, I will drink 64 ounces, which is 2 liters of water at work every day. I will do this by setting a reminder at night to fill up my bottles and take them with me when I leave for work in the morning. Some people, what they'll do is I will set an alarm every half an hour and drink so many ounces of water. And it could be an alarm on your phone. It could be one of those egg timers, whatever works for you to keep you getting, keep you consistent with getting to meet that goal. That's just an example. These are all examples. Build muscle. Here's another one. This one pertains to a lot of you. Here would be a SMART goal for that. I will be able to do 6 consecutive pull-ups in the next 3 months to help increase my muscle mass. That's just one. You could say sit-ups. You could do push-ups. You could do squats. You could do anything like that. And then how are you going to do it? I will do this by strength training at my own gym, or at, you could say at the gym that you attend, 2 to 3 times a week, in addition to meeting with my coach once per week. So that's just a little bit like you're gonna do some at home and then some with a coach. Or you can say, 3 times a week per my assigned program. I will talk with my coach 1 time a week. That is another example, but it's gonna be consistent with you building muscle, right? Pull-ups are tough. So that would be a really, really awesome goal. 6 consecutive pull-ups in the next 3 months. And then that's going to help increase muscle mass. You could use any kind of exercise for that. And then the next one is, it's a health and fitness SMART goal, but it's regarding mental health, because I think that's super important. I will learn how to gain better control of my emotions by the end of this year by writing in my gratitude journal for 10 minutes per day, to help myself maintain perspective when life feels challenging. So I often tell people this, women this, that a gratitude journal is a really good thing to keep you focused on the positive things in the world. There's so much negative that we focus a lot on the positive, or a lot on the negative and not so much on the positive. And if we, at the end of the day or the beginning of the day, if we look at what we're grateful for, it really helps put things into perspective for us. So and that's a mental health thing, and so that is a part of health and fitness, for sure. So Jody, my first weight goal is 6 pounds 6 pounds away and in sight. Amazing. So we've set those goals strategically, SMART goals, right? You guys have daily habits, you have your workouts, you have your nutrition plan, you have your meeting with me, all of that. So that helps you reach those goals. So that's exciting. I'm so happy, so very happy. Yes, Kathy, no goal is too small or silly. They're your goals, right? It doesn't have to prove anything to anybody. These are your goals. Annie, hello. No worries that you're late. You didn't really miss anything. We're talking about setting SMART goals, what that looks like, what the S and M and A and R and T stand for. No worries. I'm going to be posting this in the group for you guys about how to set SMART goals, because it's going to keep you motivated. It's going to keep your head in the game, all of that good stuff. So what I want to do now is talk about a few ways that we can stay focused on goals and also avoid distractions. Hey, Linda, nice to see you. Yes, Dorothy, look at small goals instead of the big one. The smaller will get you to the larger, right? Just like I said, chunk that up, and that's what we try and do. So when you lose 2 pounds every week, those are chunking up those goals to that larger goal, right? So perfect. And the gratitude journal. I know, it's the best thing, isn't it, Kelly? It's something that I have to say I'm probably 80% consistent at. There's always room for improvement, right? We all have those things, but it really helps me focus on the positives, not the negatives. And, it's kind of like thinking about, okay, what is that one thing positive that happened today? What is the one thing I look forward to tomorrow? Because there are things to look forward to the next day and the next day, and kind of keep that mind straight. So let's talk about how to stay focused and avoid those distractions. So the first thing is try and remove distractions that I'm home and I'm trying to work, he does anything in his power to distract me from what I really want to get done. He wants to for a while or I will get nothing done, or I have to leave and go somewhere else to work because he's like having a toddler. So that's a distraction. So that's not helping me get to my goals during the day because I have certain goals that I want to meet every single day. Sometimes music can be distracting depending on the kind of music that you're listening to. Some people, like I used to turn the TV on. I don't so much anymore because what happens is they'll say something, it piques my interest. I'm looking at the TV and it's distracting me. How about your cell phone sitting next to you and you get a notification from Facebook and you're going after it? I'm right there with you. So when you have that stuff that's distracting and it's going to take over your mind and it takes you a lot longer just to get back in and refocus. So remove those distractions because that's not related to your goal, right? So if you're trying to get a workout in and you're checking your phone all the time, you're not getting your workout in, or you're not being efficient at it, or you're not hitting it hard like you need to get it done, right? You don't want to be working out all day. So the second thing, this is a big one. This is a big one for women. Don't try to multitask. You think you're saving time, right? I do. Do you guys think you're saving time? Well, multitasking, it's not working. It's harmful for your productivity. So multitasking means you're trying to do two things at the same time, or three things, or four things. You're going back and forth. I'm going to do this. Oh, then I'm going to do this. Oh, I forgot I got to do this. And then, or you're doing things like in rapid succession. Your brain can't handle multitasking as much as you think it will. And why? Is because you're shifting your focus from one task to the next task. And then you're getting distracted by something else, and you got to go to use the bathroom, and then you got to go grab something to eat, and it can lead to brain block. So if you're working on a project or something, it's going to take you much longer to get refocused. In fact, there's a study found by a Stanford University professor that multitasking can weaken your cognitive function, all right, because you're focusing on things that don't make any sense, irrelevant subjects, right? Facebook. It's going to reduce your ability to remember things that you've read or that you've learned. So if you're studying for a test, that's not a good thing to be multitasking. And so it's going to harm your efficiency. So I can go on and on about multitasking, but avoid those distractions. Number 3, align your goals with your core values. I spoke a little bit about, it's very common for women to multitask, because we want to get it all done. We think we're like Wonder Woman. Well, we are Wonder Woman, but you know what I mean. So, so align your goals with your core values. So, and what I want to say about this is, okay, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you decided to go on a keto diet, okay, because all your friends were doing it. They lost a lot of weight, yada, yada, yada. So you did it because your friends did it. You really didn't want to because you really don't believe in it. You did it. You did get some results, but it didn't last. And so the weight that you lost, you gained back and more. That's not aligned with your core values because you didn't believe in it. You weren't learning long-lasting lifestyle habits. Right? That's just an example. So you want your goals to align with those core values because it's going to give you an intrinsic, like internally sense of motivation to get your goals done. It's not simply doing what somebody else wants you to do or jumping on the bandwagon. And it's okay to not do something your friends do. And so sometimes you may fall into those traps more often than not, but just always keep those core values that you have about your life and yourself in mind, because and if your gut tells you that it's something that isn't aligned with you, then don't do it. Because listen to that gut, because from a woman's standpoint, and you guys know this, that your gut is usually right. So number 4 is get the important things out of the way. So make sure you do 2 or 3 tasks on your list that are essential to get progress towards your goals. Get your workout in, make sure that your meals are packed for the day, etc. Right? So if you have more than 2 or 3 things, you should be able to do those too, but just focus on your goals every day. It's going to allow you to feel comfortable, to feel accomplished at the end of the day, and it's also leading you towards that end result, right? Another thing, review your goals daily. Look at what those are. Review those couple goals. And I'm not saying set 10 goals, set 2 or 3 goals, right? Or maybe just one. It's okay. You don't have to set a ton of goals. Number 6, do some momentum management. So take breaks occasionally and reassess where your goals are. Don't take breaks from getting those couple of things accomplished towards your goals, but just take a break and go, okay, am I aligned with that goal? Does that meet my core value? And just keep that momentum going. I don't want you to lose momentum and abandon those goals. Just reassess them as you're going along, right? So if your goal is to increase your physical activity and change your diet because you want to reach a certain weight, don't slow down because it's your birthday, the holidays are coming. There's always those excuses, right? So instead, go for a walk, drink some water, grab a protein shake, just something significant enough to contribute to that growth, okay? Annie, you do the 5-minute rule. You give yourself 5 minutes to get out of the house, to go take your 25-minute walk, or to go work out at the gym. That's very good, right? Keep that momentum moving. I like that. It's something that you've set in your brain that works for you, and that's a great idea. You can track your progress. Make sure that you're tracking your progress. Those of you who are working with me, your progress is tracked. In Trainerize, you see your weights and your weekly weights and your weekly measurements, and you see where your food is and all of that. So that's all tracked. So keeping track of your progress is super, super important. You're going to find that you get more done. You're going to be able to go back and see how far you've come. So if you look at your beginning pictures to where you are now, amazing. Remember when you first started your very first workout and you were doing push-ups and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even do 3 on my toes, but now you can do 5 on your toes. Just think about, go back and be proud of how much you've accomplished. So tracking your practice or your progress is important. Break down your goals into small parts. And we talked a lot about that, right? Don't look at the great big huge picture because you might ruin your focus. What else do I have here? If you don't break it down, it can be easily discouraged, right? So focus on the small bits and pieces at a time. Just like Dorothy said, you get so like, oh, I want that 25 pounds gone tomorrow. Well, it's going to take 3 pounds here and 5 pounds here, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's also, obviously getting right in your head about that. So goals need to be manageable, and break it down into several parts is important. If you need help with that, you need to just let me know. Practice focusing. This is interesting. Research has shown it takes about 25 minutes to get back on track after getting distracted with something that when you're trying to focus on your work. 25 minutes. So if you're on the phone and you pick up your phone and you're like, oh, I got a notification, let me check that out. It's going to take you 25 minutes to get back to where you were before. And that can be a huge stumbling block. It can be very aggravating. So practice focusing. And the ways to do that would be some meditation, visualizing achieving what you want. Remember the conversation you've had with me about being on this side of the bridge, on this side of the bridge, and there's a stream, there's water, and you want to be on the other side, and visualize who you want to be over there, right? Visualize that person, keep that in mind. So practice focusing on what that vision looks like, okay? Meditation is a great way to improve your focus and ability. It's something I'm really working on. I'm not very good at it, to be totally honest. But I try and do that the same time I'm doing my gratitude journal. And then focus on one thing at a time. Don't do that multitasking. Another thing, find an accountability partner. Someone in this group would be amazing. That could hold you accountable, right? It's a trusted person who helps you reach your goals by holding you to your word, kind of like I do with you guys. We talk about where your goals are, where you want to get to. I offer guidance, suggestions, support, sometimes some tough love. But it's also nice because you guys are women. You are wanting to become better versions of yourselves. You each have your own goal or what that looks like at the end. But someone that can hold you accountable to that and help you follow through on that action plan can be very, very powerful. The last thing I'm going to tell you, and okay, so yeah, I'm 80% good with my gratitude journal. I'm probably 60% okay with the meditation. I really have a hard time sitting still, as you can tell I'm doing this, right? The last thing I struggle with, but it was super important, you guys, is get up early. It makes a lot of sense, right? It's not always easy. You add some time to your day if you get up earlier, and it's pretty peaceful. There's usually not that many people out and about. You can use that time to organize your day. Here is a quote: every minute you spend in planning saves 10 minutes in execution, right? You could review your goals. Where are you at? Give yourself more time to focus on that thing, that goal that you have set for yourself, or those goals you've set for yourself, and you can get to those goals faster just taking that time by getting up a little bit earlier. I'm not going to tell you have to get up an hour earlier, but get up early. Okay? Final thoughts on staying focused on those SMART goals we talked about. A plan is only effective if you follow through by taking appropriate action. So distractions can range from being kind of mildly irritating, though, to completely damaging to your personal and professional intentions. It could be something professionally, like within your job, but and personally with your health and fitness journey. You guys do have a control over preventing distractions from getting in your way. You have control over your life. You have control over the decisions and the choices that you make, right? We do, and it's not always easy, right? It's not always easy because we live in this blame society. We want to blame others for the way things have happened to us, but we are ultimately in charge of our life. We're in charge of our goals. We have an amazing group of women that can help each other, and that's what we're doing. And I'm so grateful that you guys are all here with me for my Facebook Live, and I'm so glad you needed to hear this, Donna. We all need to hear it. I need to hear myself talk about it too, because I'm just like you guys. I'm human. We forget where we want to go. We forget that we have meaning in life, and we forget that we have a purpose in life. We get to a point in our lives or our age that we feel like we don't have a purpose in life, but we really do, right? We have a purpose for ourselves, to be the best person we can, the best woman, to feel good, whatever that is for you, whatever that looks like for you, but for our families and our friends too. So thanks for listening, Julie and Annie and Donna and Kathy and Dorothy and Kelly and all of you. I don't want to miss who else? Jody and let's see, Pam, all you guys. I'm going to be putting in the SMART goal acronyms for you guys, and I would love for you guys to share more goals on the page and help inspire other women just like you. So have a great rest of your evening, and let me know if I can be of any help at all. I'm here for you guys. If you have any interest in learning more about what I do, please make a comment below, and would love to connect with you. So have an amazing rest of your evening, and here's to an awesome weekend coming ahead. Take care, guys.